What's up, everyone? It's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean like several months. You know, it is what it is. I figured I'd make another video and talk about a little bit why I just disappeared and my plans for this moving forward. I'm probably gonna be a little bit awkward. I never got out of the awkward phase making videos last time, and I certainly am right back where I started from taking such a long break. So bear with me. Really quickly, what I'm gonna be doing today is I've been getting a lot of messages about just doing like basic tutorial style things on like basic things. And I don't mean to say basic as in like you should know how to do this already at all. But like part of the reason why I didn't really want to do tutorials, or I thought I wasn't going to do tutorials, is that like YouTube is covered up in tutorials. There's a million tutorials on the same thing. Like there's a million winged eyeliner tutorials. There's a million eyebrow tutorials. So I kind of didn't think that the internet needed my step-by-step version on how to do something, but I kept getting asked about it. So here we are. And that being said, because I just said there's a million tutorials online on how to do everything I'm about to do, this is just the way I do it. I'm in no way telling you that this is the way you have to do it, or if you don't do this, then I'm judging you, or anything like that. And that's also part of the reason why I didn't want to do tutorials, is like there are so many hard opinions on makeup, which kind of cracks me up because there are no like definite rules to makeup aside from like cleanliness. And so it kind of cracks me up. Also makes me nervous when I see people attacking other people on the way they chose to do something. I'm also kind of a messy person. Not kind of, I'm definitely a messy person, which also translates into the way I do my makeup. Like the way I do my makeup does not necessarily look good until the end. And even then, there's going to be plenty of people that are like, that looks like garbage. I'll get to that also, but these are all the reasons why I kind of steered away from doing YouTube in the first place and doing YouTube tutorials, just because of all of that negativity. However, I have decided to be a bigger person and to really try and just get past the negativity and not focus on it, because that's just what I try and do in my day-to-day life. So I'm going to show you basically how I do my everyday makeup. I'll show you how I do winged liner and how I do my eyebrows. So if you're one of those people that has been asking for this, strap in. Here we go. I am going to prime my face with this Purlisse, the Matcha Green Tea Antioxidant Priming Moisturizer, because it has been winter in Washington for a million years. And we don't have central heating in my house. And we only have wall heaters, and a couple of the thermostats on our wall heaters went out, which means that our wall heaters would not turn off, which is a huge fire hazard. So I have been living in front of space heaters for the last like four months, which has not been fun or kind to my skin. I gotta moisturize the crap out of my face. Otherwise, it's just going to be a sad day. And even then, like, I've been moisturizing my face like it is my sole purpose in life. And my skin has still just been so dry. I'm also going to throw on, this is Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in Pearl. I recorded this video yesterday and watched it back and immediately deleted it because I just came across like the whiniest brat ever, and that was not what I was going for. Like I mean, it's hard for me to talk about, like, I'm perpetually afraid of being annoying. So let me go ahead and throw that out there. I am perpetually afraid of being annoying, and that 100% comes from the fact that one of my childhood friends 100% convinced me that no one actually liked me. People were just nice to me. to my face, and then everybody was talking about me behind my back, which was crazy, but also very effective. And it led me to not ever believing other people when they showed interest in me or like behaved in a way that, you know, most people would say, oh, that's because they want to be your friend. I very much was like, oh, you know, she would like pull me to the side and say, you know, for example, if I got invited to a birthday party she didn't get invited to, or just a party that she didn't get invited to, she would pull me aside and say, oh, I heard so-and-so talking about why they invited you to their party this weekend, and it's only because they're going to make fun of you if you go, so you shouldn't go. I'm just telling you so that you don't get your feelings hurt. And so, like, I mean, we were young when this was going on. I'm talking like 2nd, 3rd grade. And that was the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, by the way. And so, like, I just learned not to trust anyone but this one girl. And, like, the big secret was that she couldn't make friends. So she tried to keep me from making friends because I was her only friend. And I could make other friends and she couldn't. Like, she just wasn't a very nice person. I'm not friends with her anymore at all. If you know who I'm talking about, I intentionally don't name names because that's just not cool and it doesn't serve any purpose. So, please don't like call anyone out because that's not constructive at all. But what it did do is, to this day, give me a really like big complex on, it's hard for me to like believe that other people like me. It's hard for me to believe nice things that people say to me. It's like, it really messes me up to this day. So like, part of the reason why I disappeared for so long is I never really had confidence in myself to do this in the first place. And then I definitely got in my own head and was like, nobody actually really wants this. People are just being nice. And then I was like, this, you know, that doesn't make any sense because I have had such nice people say some really nice things to me about the videos I've made thus far, and it would be ridiculous for me to get in my head and say, you know, oh, they're just trying to make me feel better. Like, that's not fair to anyone who has reached out and been kind to me. That's like, if I'm thinking from a logical perspective, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, it would be much easier for people to just not say anything than to go out of their way. And then I kind of thought about it and I realized that's like basically calling everyone that's been nice to me a liar. And that's just, you know, rude. So like, I had already, I've always dealt with like really bad anxiety, as I've spoken about before, and really horrible low self-esteem. Like, it's really hard for me to, like I said, believe nice things about myself. I'm working on it. By the way, that was Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation in the shade Fair, which is 100% too dark and a little bit too yellow, but we're going to go with it anyway. Why not? This is e.l.f. What is this? 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Light Peach. And I'm just going to kind of like put this in the center of my face to kind of balance out how much darker that is than it should be. And I'm putting it along my jawline because I'm going to blend it down like I'm doing right now. And that will help not have like a line on my neck that gives away that my foundation doesn't match my skin. So, like I said, it was already hard for me to believe that people really and truly wanted my opinions. They want, like, you know, it was hard for me to really accept that that's something that people want to see from me. I got in my own head is what I did. I got in my head and was like, all of those people were lying. or just being nice, not lying, but they were just being nice. Nobody actually really cares. They just didn't want to hurt your feelings. So yeah, that's why I just disappeared. I got stuck in my own head and started believing the wrong things, or started listening to the wrong voices again, even though I've really been trying to be better about that and not let that be a thing anymore. I guess what I'm learning is it's a constant struggle. Another thing I'm working on is not being such a crazy perfectionist, because that's another problem that I was having, is like, that's not good enough, or that's not perfect, so don't post it. I also kind of got like hung up on like people's negative opinions of me, which is crazy because in day-to-day life, I genuinely can't care about people's negative opinions of me. Like, I do not care about people's negative opinions of me. Or like, I would say, if you were to ask me, Katie, do you care about people's negative opinions of you? I would say no. But that clearly turned out to not be as true as I would like for it to be, because like, if someone in person were to come up to me and say, I hate your makeup, or your makeup sucks, or your hair is stupid, or I hate your nose ring, which has happened, I just laugh those people off, because I'm like, you know what? My hair might be stupid, but at least I have more emotional intelligence than you do to not come up to a full-on stranger and give a completely unwarranted opinion. My hair might be stupid and my tattoos might be gross, but at least I don't go around saying ugly things to complete strangers to make myself feel better. So like in person, if somebody would have said something like that to me, I do when people say not nice things to me in person. I'm just kind of like, cool, neat, good talk. Or I say something really sarcastic. Or what my new thing that I've been trying to do is just kill them with kindness, which is hard. It's really hard for me because I want to pop back with something like really cutting and like, haha, gotcha, which never works. Like, somebody that's already coming up and saying something ugly to you, like, the minute you say something ugly to them, they like backdate their bullshit and they're like, see, how rude. I was just telling you. They never see how rude their actions are. They only see your reaction as rude. So I'm really trying to get rid of the idea that I'm gonna one-up somebody that's being that rude to a full-on stranger. And like, when I decided I was gonna do this, obviously I knew that there were gonna be people that didn't like me and my makeup and my personality and the things I chose to talk about and pretty much anything about me. Like, I knew it was guaranteed that someone somewhere was not going to like me. And I decided to not let that, like, I don't let that define me in my day-to-day life. So why would I let that define me online? And then I finally got like a really nasty comment. And it really did take me back. I didn't, like, it caught me up. I was like, really? You don't even follow me. Like, you don't even know me. You don't know me. And it messed me up. And then I was embarrassed at the fact that had messed me up a little bit. Like, I was like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Like, people on a daily, or not a daily basis, but on a regular basis, people decide that you need to know their opinion of your appearance. So why would you think that you were going to get away with putting your face up on the internet and no one was going to have a negative reaction to it? But a few weeks ago, I put a question box up on my Instagram stories and asked what kind of videos people wanted to see from me. And a complete stranger, someone who does not follow me at all, who doesn't even post makeup related things, so I don't even know how they found me. We don't follow any of the same people. We are not followed by any of the same people. This person just decided that I needed to know that they thought I was a hack. And like, I even messaged them back and I was like, hey, you know, do you care to like fill me in on why you decided to say that to me, or what about me makes you think I'm a hack? Like, what? Let's talk. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm open to direction. Like, I'm open to all of this as long as it's like in a positive place. This is Wink by Sugar Pill, by the way. I was like, okay, you know, if that's, you're entitled to your opinion, I guess. I don't know why you felt the need to share it with me, but here we are. And look, they didn't even have the patience or the, like, I don't know. They didn't even have it in them to answer me. I mean, in no way was I competition for this girl, so I have no idea where it came from that she decided that she needed to tell me how much she didn't like me. But she did. So that really bummed me out. I have no idea why that upset me as much as it did, but it did. It really bothered me. And then again, I got upset that that upset me. I was like, what did you think was going to happen? And then I just went down this like rabbit hole of being not good enough. And, you know, that was just basically confirmation that people weren't going to like me. And maybe I shouldn't be on YouTube or even Instagram for that matter. And then I kind of realized that was really unfair to the really nice people who always support me, who always go out of their way to say really kind things, you know, to message me and tell me how much they like my makeup, how helpful it is that I talk about my anxiety and depression and things, and like my just being relatable. And that's what I want to be. Like, I want to be relatable. I don't want to be like, I guess part of the reason why it upset me so much is that when I decided I really was going to do this, I decided also it was just going to be myself, because one, I really don't have the patience or the energy to be anything else. And two, like I knew it would not be sustainable for me to be a character. Like, if I was going to do this, I had to be myself. I could not be a character. I knew that wasn't going to work in the long term. So, and so if I'm going to be myself and somebody doesn't like it, that means they don't like me. And again, this goes back to, do I care who doesn't like me? No, I don't. Not really, but obviously part of my brain still went, oh, really? Oh, that was Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in Light Medium. And now I'm about to go in with Revolution Pro, and I guess this is CO1. So yeah, I basically just realized that by not doing anything because some people didn't like it, I was not being true to myself, because I don't do that. And like, I do that with nothing else in my life. I don't edit the way I speak because people don't like it. I don't change the way I dress because people don't like it. I don't change anything about myself because somebody somewhere might not like it. So why would I do that online? And why would I let someone who is clearly not even polite enough to like have a conversation, why would I entertain the opinion of someone whom I genuinely don't care about at all? She doesn't care about me, obviously. It was nothing to her to say something hateful and rude. So why am I concerned with that girl? I shouldn't be. And I realized I was focusing on the wrong things. Like, I was not being grateful for the people who have gone out of their way to say nice things to me. The people who are constantly like hyping me up and telling me what a great job I'm doing, or just being kind and like telling me the things about me that they appreciate. I realized that by letting some random girl on the internet tell me you're a hack, and that was like enough for me to go, well, I guess I'll quit. Really? That was really all it took. That's really all it took for me to quit. I would never let that be enough for me to quit anything else unless I was also ready to quit. And I also realized that I was putting the emphasis of things on the, like, I was caring too much about the wrong things in general. Like, just in general, I was caring about, like, oh, my Instagram post only got 30 likes. Like, what a bummer. That sucks. That must mean that people don't like it. Instead of thinking of it from the perspective of, like, I have no idea what my reach on Instagram is. I was talking about this with one of my friends. Sean has done several of my tattoos. Any tattoo that I've gotten in the last 6 years has been done by him. We were talking about social media versus like real life, and how, so back in the days of MySpace, he had like something like 500,000 friends on MySpace. And now on Instagram, he has something like 20,000 followers. And then he went from getting anywhere from like several hundred likes on a post to like 20 or 30. Nothing bad has come from it, but it was definitely like an ego check to have it drop like that. Oh, this is Revolution Pro. Also, what is this called? Blush and Lift in the shade Bliss. Also, I like a lot of blush, so this is probably looking a little bit crazy, but in fact, I can tell it's looking a little bit crazy. Let's try and blend that in just a little bit. Whatever. But I was talking with Sean about likes on social media versus likes in real life. And something we kind of were talking about was that if you had 30 people in real life come up to you in one day and compliment something about you, you would be walking around on cloud nine, and also probably a little freaked out if you were anything like me and going, what the hell? What's going on? Where's the camera crew? But for some reason, when you put that on Instagram and you get 30 likes on an Instagram post, you're like, where the other 8 million people on Instagram go? So like we were talking about it, and when we were talking about it, and I realized, like, yeah, seriously, honestly, if 30 people in one day walked up to me and were like, oh my God, you're some compliment, I would be like, that would be amazing. So why can't I take that and just be like, you know what? That post got 30 likes. I mean, there's plenty of people that get 2 likes, you know, and are probably like, 2 people liked my post on Instagram. So, you know, don't be ungrateful, I guess. That was Lena Beauty. I think it's Lena Beauty Lashes on Instagram. I also have a code with them for 15% off. It is an affiliate code, so if you don't want me to make money, that's fine. Don't use it. I'll put everything in the description box as well. Also, so another reason why I got kind of in my head on this is my makeup, like in the past, just showing the finished product, you don't know how messy I was in getting there. Like, you have no idea how like last minute fixing a lot of things were. Like, that didn't look that great, so at first, but once I'm done, it looks perfectly fine. And I will also just go ahead and say, when I'm doing my makeup, I don't really care for it to look natural. I don't necessarily want it to look like I'm wearing like 8 pounds of makeup, but I don't really care for it to look very natural either. So if you're looking for like no makeup, I can do that. It's just not my favorite. So if you're wondering, does she know how much blush she has on her face? Yeah, I know. All right, so I guess now would be a good time to try and show you guys how I do my winged liner. Oh, anyway, what I was saying was there are just so many opinions. You like how I did that in the middle of the sentence? Like I couldn't wait. That's a Pixie Glow Mist, Rose Glow Mist. Like I said, I'm super messy when I'm doing my makeup, and like, I'm happy with the finished product, which is all that matters. It's on my face. So like, again, why am I caring about the opinions of people that don't like my face? I don't know. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a million different ways to do basically everything in makeup. There's a billion different ways to do everything. However, there's some really nice people on the internet that, for whatever reason, want to act like that is not the case, and they're not nice, and they attack people for not doing things the way they would do it, or the way they've seen other, like, I love it when it's not even somebody that's actually a makeup artist gets ugly and is like, oh my god, that's not even how you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to la 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 la. And again, there's so many different ways to do things. I was kind of afraid of showing people my way of doing things because I was kind of afraid, I'm realizing in hindsight, of people being like, that's not how you do that. This is a NYX, oh my god, Slide On, Glide On, way too long name of a product. It's a really great eyeliner though, in the shade Jet Black. I'm just tightlining my upper waterline. I found that doing black eyeliner on my waterline just makes everything look more cohesive and neat. All right, I'm gonna kind of walk you through how I'm about to do this. Basically, what I'm about to do is I'm gonna sketch out the rough shape with this and then go back in with another product and fill it in. This is Il Makiage Inkliner in the shade Black. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look straight into a mirror and I'm gonna go from my lower lash line straight out. And then from there, I am gonna take this and then drag it back in one motion, like one motion out, one motion back in. And then I'll go from there. Okay. Out. Actually, really quickly, this just helps me a little bit. I go along my lash line again, and you don't have to be super neat when doing this. This just, again, is kind of like helps make sure you don't have any skin peeking through. I'm realizing now I've had too much coffee for this. So hopefully this goes well. Okay, that went all right. If you can see, this end is a little sloppy. That's okay. I feel like people get overwhelmed with winged eyeliner because they don't want to take their time. And there are probably plenty of people that can do this and with, you know, on mega crunch time and never feel the slightest amount of stress. But I am not one of those people. I think another thing that kind of messes people up is that they don't want to do these, they don't want to commit to a line, so they try and build and build and build and build and build and build. And that's how you get like wobbly lines all the way up. And you want it to be clean. Like you want it to be a nice, sharp line. You don't want like wobbly bits all over the place. So I'm going to leave that alone and I'm going to move on to my next eye. Because the shape of my eyes is totally different, if I start with this eye, I can usually get this eye to match. If I start with this eye, it's over. It's just over. So one of the things that I do when I've done my first eye, which is my easiest eye to do, I've heard a lot of people say start with the eye that's most difficult for you. And like I've said, I've tried to do that and it just doesn't work for me. So when I'm trying to make these even, I'm going to look straight in the mirror and I'm going to hold this like this and try to match the angle. Also, another important thing to do when you're doing your winged eyeliner, like I know you can probably see me going like this and then dropping it back down. You want to relax your eye while you're doing this because it doesn't matter how clean the shape is if you're holding your eye like this, unless you're going to hold your eye like this for the rest of the day. It's going to look messed up by the time you're done. Here we go. So you can see that's not nearly as neat as this one. That's okay though, because I'm going to go back in. Kind of build that up a little bit. Now that I've got the basic shape down, I'm going to go in with my next product, which is MAC Liquidlast 24-hour waterproof liner in Point Black. And I'm just going to fill in everything. I mean, those are probably about as even as they're going to get. So, as long as they're even, I'm happy. If you really wanted to be nitpicky, I mean, you can definitely point out they're not perfect. Like, they are not perfectly symmetrical. Is anybody in real life going to come up and scrutinize my winged eyeliner? Probably not. So, somebody's going to do it on the internet. That's okay. The biggest thing with winged eyeliner is making it look intentional, doing your best to make it even, and doing your best to make sure that that is all saturated. Like, you don't want skips, you don't want gaps. If you hold your eye relaxed as well, you're much more likely to get away without skips. That's winged eyeliner done, y'all. So now I guess it's time for me to do my eyebrows. So I just tried to change or fix my lighting. It's not happening today. My lighting's just going to be off. Sorry. Anyway, I feel like brows are so individualistic, but so is makeup. Like, everything about makeup is so individualistic. And that's one of the great things about it, is that you can literally do your makeup however your little heart is happy with. And just, you know, like, screw anybody that doesn't like it. I don't care about that. Please, I beg of you. That's part of the reason, another part of the reason why I was so hesitant to do YouTube in the first place, is that, like, sometimes the beauty community is just friggin' ruthless, man. Like, because people have so many opinions and there are so many different ways to do things, instead of just seeing that somebody did something different than the way you would do it, or than the way that you usually do it, or whatever, the way you feel like it should be done, people will say some just awful things. They're just like cutthroat, like it's not another person that they're talking about. Like, that's a human being behind that camera. Maybe, I don't know, don't be such a jerk. So, a helpful thing, especially if you don't even know what shape your eyebrows should be, I'm going to take this pencil. This is NYX Professional Makeup Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. I have like 6 of these in like all different colors, and I really like them. So you're going to take your pencil along the side of your nose to the inside of your eye and make a guide. So that's how far in your eyebrow should come. Then you're going to take this guy, you're going to look straight ahead and hold this at the corner of your nose across your pupil, looking straight ahead. There. And then for the end, so this I kind of don't necessarily follow, but for the purpose of teaching, I'll show you. You just go to the end of your eye. So now that I've got these guides, I'm just going to take this pencil, and part of the reason I like this pencil is, I mean, you can see that's a pretty like fine little line that I just did, and I'm just going to take it and flick it like this. I'm not drawing any hard lines. I'm just flicking this into my brow.
Like so. And I'm going to go back in a second and even soften that even more. So.
Once I get past the front of my brow, I don't mind taking this and kind of dragging it a little bit, like I still am not doing like hard press in lines, but I don't mind if this is a lot cleaner. Like I want this to look more natural and this can look more clean, if that makes any sense. So when I get out here, I just kind of like feather it. I'm still not pressing in and holding it down. I'm just kind of like rounding it out, if that makes any sense. Now for the upper side, I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm going to brush my brow hairs down so they're out of the way. Because you can see now where I need to fill that in to make that distance. And then I'm just going to take it and do, again, little tiny flicks. I have a tiny mirror right up close, and then I have a bigger mirror right here, and I look back and forth between both of these mirrors to see if I like, do I like the shape up close? Is it clean? And then from a distance, how does the shape look? So I like that shape fairly well. I think that's pretty good. So then all I'm going to do now is lightly take this spoolie end, and up front, I'm going to go a little bit heavier with like my brushing because I really want to break up anything that looks like a hard line up here. I do not want a hard line up here. So that's a pretty good shape. I'm fairly happy with that. Now the fun part is getting this one to match. So again, I'm just going to go in, flick, 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 flick.
Now that I'm not here, I can take it this way. Yep, okay. Again, I'm going to brush my hairs down. I go from the outside and like this.
Now this brow is just thinner than this one. So you see I kind of go further in with my feathering. I did get it a little bit out of hand right here, so I'm just going to take my sponge. And you can also see that this one comes out a little bit further and the point is a little bit sharper. If you get a sharp point that you don't really like, you can literally just take your sponge and knock off the very, very tip of that point. I don't really want like angry brows or super pointy brows. I will also say, I used to work for Ulta, and when I would watch the Benefit girls do brows, and one of the things that they're also trained is that they're supposed to be siblings, not twins. That being said, there are plenty of people that want their eyebrows to be perfectly symmetrical. I'm not one of those people. That is too much pressure for me. As long as I like pretty well like the shape of them, I'm gonna go with it. Today, this is just the one that I grabbed. I have like 3 different brow gels, whatever. This is Tinted Brow Mascara. This is also by NYX, and this is also in the shade Espresso. And for the most part, the first thing I'm gonna do is you'll see that I'm just roughing my eyebrows up with it, and then I'll go back and kind of comb them in the shape that I want them to be. So I'm gonna rough them up at first, and then I'll go back and kind of place them where I want them. So I'm just gonna, I'm really just going pretty much against the way that they grow to get them to fluff up a little bit. And then once I get them as fluffy as I like, then I'll go back and kind of set them where I want them. But again, I kind of don't care if mine are a little bit crazy. In fact, I kind of like it, so like, I'll leave them looking a little bit bushy. I like it. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all asked for this, okay? Okay, I did actually get a little bit of brow gel where I didn't want it. You can see right here is a little bitty dot. And all I'm going to do is take this spoolie and flick it. Am I? Oh, oh. Yeah, I am. Perfect. Boom, done. That works really well for mascara as well. If you blob mascara on your face and you didn't want to, just wait until it dries. And then, I mean, I don't know why you would want to blob mascara on your face, let's be honest. But just wait until it dries. If you try and do it while it's still wet, you're going to make a giant mess. This is NYX On the Rise Volume Liftscara. So I got little flecks of mascara on my face. I'm just going to gently knock them off. Like so. See? Super easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is Haus Laboratories Rip Lip Liner in the shade Rule. And I had put chapstick on before I sat down to film. So I'm just going to use that to blend this in a wee bit. And then I'm going to go in with also Haus Laboratories. This is Riot Lip Gloss in Attitude. There. All right. That's it. That is my face done. All right. So yeah, you get the concept. I hope this was helpful. Both the instructions and hearing me talk about my just fears in doing YouTube and some of the things that I've been battling with, and really the reason that I disappeared the way I did. And if you have been one of the really kind people that has been super supportive of me from the beginning, please believe me when I tell you that your messages and your comments mean everything to me. It really helps. I'm not digging for compliments, by the way. I'm not sitting here like, please tell me how great I am. Just the people who have and the people who do know that I appreciate you more than I can say. It's the daily struggle to work on my confidence and my self-esteem and things like that. And I think it's always funny to me when I hear from other people that they don't realize that I have really bad confidence or self-esteem issues. And something I like to tell those people is confidence and apathy look a lot alike. It's just the intent behind them, or the, I guess, not the intent. Intent, I guess. Confidence and apathy look a lot alike. Like, apathy is, it doesn't matter what I do, so I'm just going to do it this way. And confidence is, that looks really good, or I don't care, and so I'm going to do it this way, you know? And so on the surface, they present very similarly, and I can guarantee you that most of the times that I have come across as confident, if you think that I'm confident, it's 100% apathy. And I'm not saying that like that's the way it should be, or that I should be proud that that's the way that it is. It just is that way for me personally. I'm working on it. I'm trying to make it confidence and not apathy. And it is getting better, but I realize that I do this with anxiety, depression, confidence, self-esteem, body image, all of this. I'll feel like I'm getting on top of it. I'm getting ahead of it to the point where sometimes I don't even think about it anymore. And then I will get hit in the face with something. I have Hashimoto's and I have high estrogen, and sometimes I get really bad breakouts, or not really bad. I've been lucky in my life to not have like crushing acne, but I made it through my teenage years with no acne, and now as a 33-year-old I have, I mean, today's a pretty good day. My hormones, I guess, are in check, so I don't have massive breakouts, but I'm also super fair and very pink, so when I do get breakouts, I'm covered in like pink dots. It super stresses me out, and then it bums me out, and then I'm just like, I don't want people to see me like this. So there's all kinds of things that go into me not wanting to film, but I do want to film. And then another thing that I was doing is not filming and creating things that make me happy. I was worrying about what's going to do the best on Instagram, and then being like surprised that something I did with absolutely no passion behind it flops. And also, do I really want to live my life by a number on an app on a phone? No, I don't. At the end of my days, am I going to sit there lying in my deathbed going, I can't believe that Instagram post only got 30 likes? No, I'm not. So why am I going to let that run me right now? So I'm just trying to talk about things that I experience because I want to be relatable, and I also just want to be myself. I can't be the person that, you know, gets on here with a personality or an act that just isn't myself, because I just don't have the patience or the energy to do it. I also will feel fake as hell the whole time, and it just also wouldn't be something that was sustainable. So like, if I started out that way, that would be the quickest way for me to just tank this right into the ground, is to be fake and not be myself. I am like maliciously myself, I guess is a way that I could put it. And like I said, in real life, I have dealt with people criticizing just about everything about my appearance to my face. And I like laugh at those people most of the time. And it's mostly just super emotionally unintelligent people that feel like they have a right to tell you how they think you should look. Whereas if you were to walk across the room and tell them, treat them the exact same way they're treating me, they would be accosted. Like, how dare you? Who the hell do you think you are? And yet they're the same people that would be like, you know, you'd be so much prettier if you didn't have a nose ring. You'd be so much prettier if you'd stop shaving your head. Like, was that an accident? Why did you do that? Oh my God, guys don't like girls covered in tattoos. Like, there's just any number of things that people have said about my appearance that I'm just kind of like, great, thanks for sharing. That I don't know why, thinking about the potential of putting myself out onto the endless internet where any number of people could see me and decide that if I'm going to be my truest self here, that means that they don't like me as a person. And I have plenty of people in my day-to-day life that don't like me as a person. So if I'm going to sit here and say that I don't care about those people, I can't care about those people on the internet. And I also can't, you know, be shocked that if I'm putting stuff out that I'm not actually into, how can I expect people to be into things that I'm not even really into? That's also being fake. So I guess that's my long, round way of saying I'm just as scared as anyone most of the time. I am not, if I come across as super confident, it's not necessarily that way. If I come across like I don't suffer from almost crippling anxiety sometimes, trust me when I say that there are plenty of times where I am so anxious that I could just throw up or just like start crying over nothing. So if you deal with that, you're not alone. And I very much want, like when I first talked about my anxiety, I cannot tell you how many people came out of the woodwork to tell me, I had no idea you had anxiety like that. I had no idea that you dealt with things like that. You always seem so confident. You always seem so calm. One, thank you. But two, I'm not. So if you're sitting there holding yourself back from something that you want to do, from something you really think you're going to enjoy, or even just something you just want to do, just do it. Like, you're going to have people that don't agree. There are going to be people that don't like it. There are going to be people that share their negative opinion and don't know when to shut the fuck up. But we don't care about those people. We don't live our life by those people, because those people don't matter. Those people, I have realized, took me a long time to get here, people that are ugly to you see something in you that they don't have in themselves, or that they feel like they don't have in themselves. So they feel like they have to kill it in you to feel better about themselves. And that's really sad. So if you realize that somebody is hateful to you or is constantly critical of you, no matter what you do, that person does not like themselves. That person is not happy. And there's a lot of people in this world that are unfortunately sad enough that the only joy they can have is tearing other people down and making them doubt themselves and feel bad about themselves. And that's not joy. So feel bad for those people. It's hard. It's hard to remind yourself to feel bad for someone who's being cruel. But just know that that comes from a very unhappy place. That comes from a place of sadness, of self-loathing, of hate. It's like self-hate, and in a way that I can't put myself in that mind space. So I'm mostly, this is me telling you to tell myself, it's going to be all right. You put what you want out in the world. Don't let the people that aren't going to like it be the deciding factor for your life. And I'm really going to make a solid effort at making this more regular, at putting more effort into this and not disappearing again. That being said, if you have anything specific that you want to see from me, reach out. Please let me know. I'm going to put all my social medias in the description box, along with all the products that I used today. Please feel free to reach out to me on any form of social media. That would be great. I love hearing from people. I really love having conversations with people that, let me know that I'm doing something good here. If any of these things helped you, please let me know. It would mean the world to me if you could hit like and subscribe. This has been super, super long as per usual. I don't know when to shut the fuck up. I have a lot of things to say, okay? I just have a lot of feelings. So yeah, if you found this helpful, if you liked this, if there's anything else you want to specifically see from me, please let me know. I'll try and accommodate everyone that I can. Yeah, guys, if you've made it this far, thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world. I can't say that enough. I can't stress that enough. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Your support means the world to me. So thank you. All right, guys.